Good day to our dear parents of NCLC MCA school system. Welcome to our parent-teacher partnership and orientation program. I am Teacher Christian and I will be discussing about grades and assessments. So I have divided our discussion into three parts. The first one is the assessment. The second one is how grades are being computed. And lastly, I will show you how you're going to monitor or see the grades of your kids through our learning management system, or what we call the LMS. Okay, let's proceed first sa assessment. Let's define what is assessment. In education, the term assessment refers to the wide variety of methods or tools that educators use to evaluate, measure, and document the academic readiness, learning progress, skill acquisition, and or educational needs of students. So sa madaling salita, ang assessment ay ginagamit ng educators or teachers to evaluate the progress of their students. So it can be an activity, a graded quiz, a quarterly examination, and etc. So let's proceed. We have two types of assessment. The first one is the formative assessment. It is to monitor student learning, to provide ongoing feedback that can be used by instructors to improve their teaching and by students to improve their learning. Yan po ang tinatawag nating formative assessments, to monitor student learning. Okay? But not just for students, hindi lang naka-design ang formative assessment para sa mga estudyante, but also para sa mga teacher to improve their teaching skills. Okay? So let's have the second one, the summative assessment. Summative assessment is to evaluate student learning at the end of an instructional unit. So sa summative assessment, dito na nagte-take place yung evaluation. Sa formative assessment naman, minomonitor na lang, ini-evaluate naman natin ng teacher, but this is just for monitoring purposes. While sa summative assessment is to evaluate student learning, kung man natutunan ba ang bata at the end. Usually, ang summative assessment takes place after ng lesson or ng discussion. Okay? Let's have a comparison between the two assessments. So, there you go. Both of these assessments are recorded. So, parehas silang recorded. The only difference is between the two is that the formative assessment is recorded but not graded. Again, let me stress that one. The formative assessment is recorded but not graded. It means it is excluded in the computation of grades of the students. While the summative assessment is recorded and graded. Okay? Yan po ang pinagkaiba ng dalawa. So it means sa summative assessment, included siya sa computation ng grades ng bata. Both of them are recorded, naka-record lang sa class, sulat sa class record or tinatawag natin gradebook ng teacher, but the formative assessment is not graded. It means excluded. Summative assessment naman included sa computation ng grades ng bata. Okay? So let's have an example for the formative assessment. Formative assessment, for example, a 5-item activity in the middle of discussion. So, hindi lang siya sa middle of discussion, sa gitna ng discussion. Yung biglang puputulin mo yung discussion para magtanong, para magkaroon ng activity. So, it can also take place sa beginning or sa prior sa lesson, or it can also take place at the end of the discussion. Okay, so let's have an example for the formative assessment. So we have the 5-item activity in the middle of discussion. So teacher, usually kailangan ba sa middle of discussion? No. Pwede din siya prior sa discussion, or it means bago mag-discussion, magpapa-activity ka muna. Or, yun nga sinasabi natin sa middle of the discussion, puputulin mo yung lesson, or puputulin mo yung discussion ninyo para magpa-activity, or can also takes place at the end of the discussion. Pwede rin siya sa after ng discussion. Okay? So, sa summative assessment naman, we have the quiz and the quarterly assessments or yung tinatawag nating quarterly examinations. Pag sinabi kasi nating quiz, alam na ng bata yon na graded siya. So, automatic na graded yung ating assessment. So, ang quiz kasi usually nagte-takes place at the end or after ng lesson. So, yung tinatawag ng mga students or ng mga estudyante na ay surprise quiz si teacher. No. A surprise quiz is under the formative assessment. So, sa summative assessment, ang quiz ay usually nagte-take place after the lesson. Hindi naman siya necessarily na after mo mag-discuss ay magpapa-quiz ka agad. Pwede siyang kinabukasan, pwedeng scheduled yung assessment, summative assessment. So, proceed tayo sa second part ng ating discussion, which is how grades are being computed. So, the good thing about the NCLC-MCA school system, dear parents, is that sumusunod pa rin ito sa grading system na ipinapatupad ng Department of Education. So, walang pinagkaiba doon sa grading system na sinusunod natin sa traditional way of computation of grades nung mga normal pa ang lahat. So, yes po. Kung ano po yung naging guide ng teacher noon, paano i-compute ang grade ng estudyante, ay ganun din po dito sa ating online learning. Walang pinagkaiba. The only difference, dear parents, is that automatic na once na nasagutan na ng isang estudyante ang activity sa ating learning management system or sa Moodle, yung tinatawag nating Moodle, automatic na i-record ng system yung mga scores na sinagutan ng bata or ng estudyante. And automatic din na nagko-compute yung grades according doon sa grading system na ipinapatupad ng DepEd. Okay po? So, ano po iyon? So, we have this what we call 3 components of grades. Yung 3 components ng grade ng bata. So, we have the written works, the performance task, and the quarterly assessments. Nahati po yan sa 3. So, hindi po siya pare-parehas sa mga subjects. Right? May mga pagkakaiba rather siya sa bawat subject. So, let's have for example, languages, Araling Panlipunan, and ESP are all the same when it comes to written works, 30%, may 50% sa performance task, and quarterly assessments na 20%. While some science and mathematics, meron siyang 40% for the written works, and meron siyang 40% allotted sa performance task, and 20% allotted for quarterly assessments. And we have the MAPE, the Music Arts PE Health, and Edukasyon, basta EPP or TLE. We have 20% for the written works, 60% for the performance task, and 20% sa quarterly assessments. So, yun po ang components ng grades ng bata. So, wala siyang pinagkaiba doon sa traditional way of computing grades. Same pa din naman siya. So far, wala pang ipinapatupad na bagong grading system si DepEd. So, presumably, ito pa rin yung ating grading system na susundin. So, papakita ko sa inyo ngayon, dear parents, paano kinakompute ang grade ng inyong mga anak or ng estudyante. So, we have here the sample subject, Mathematics 5 or Math 5. Nasa first quarter po tayo. And we have here the highlighted orange one, the written works, the performance task, and the quarterly assessments, which are the components of the grade. So, we have here the column column for total score, column for total number of items and weights, and we have the total. So, we have here the formula. Ito yung written works, PT is performance task, and QA for the quarterly assessments. So, let's take for example, nakakuha si student 1 ng 93 out of 100 items. Ang weights allotted for written works is 40%. So, ang magiging formula natin, titingnan po natin dito sa baba. Highlight ko po. Oh no. Ayan, we have the written works, total score divided by so we have here sample subject, mathematics 5, nasa first quarter tayo. And we have here, naka-highlight the components of grades, the written works, performance task, and the quarterly assessments. So, let's take for example, nakakuha si student 1 ng 93 out of 100 items, tapos yung allotted weights niya. Then, performance task is 95, and nakakuha siya out of 50 items sa quarterly assessment ng 43. Okay? So, ayan. The formula will be for written works, total number of score divided by total number of items multiplied to its weight. So, 40, which is 40% sa written works. So, tingnan natin. 93 divided by total number of items multiplied to 40. Enter natin. So, we have 37.2. Ganon din ang formula for performance task and quarterly assessments. So, ida-drag ko lang po siya. So, we have here 37.2, 38 for the performance task, and 17.2 for the quarterly assessment. So, i-add ko lang siya. I-add ko lang yung tatlo para makakuha ako ng grade ng bata. Yun na yung magiging total grade ng bata for Mathematics 5. Add ko lang po sila. Ayan. We have, ayan, plus, plus, so, ang grade ng bata for Mathematics 5 is 92.4. Ito po yung magiging grade ni student 1. So, ganun po ang paraan ng total ng grade ng bata. So, let's say for example, again, 90, dito yung itong column na ito, total score, we have the 93, then we have total number of items 100 and multiplied to weights. Ito po yung formula na sinunod natin for written works. And then, same goes sa performance task. And 20% naman ang pinagkaiba ng quarterly assessment when it comes sa formula. So, ayan po. Meron na tayong grade ng estudyante na 92.4. So, don't worry dear parents, makikita po ninyo yan ang progress ng inyong mga anak sa ating learning management system. Okay, nasa last part na po tayo ng ating discussion. So, sa mga pagkakataong ito, ituturo ko po sa inyo kung paano natin mamamonitor, paano natin makikita yung grades ng ating mga anak or yung progress ng ating mga anak sa ating learning management system or yung tinatawag nating Moodle. Now, the first thing that you're going to do, dear parents, is mag-login lang po tayo sa ating page. Ayan, click Learning Zone. And after Learning Zone, dadalhin tayo ni Moodle sa ating login page. So, magla-login tayo, i-enter natin yung ating username and password. But in my case, naka-login na po ako. So, dadalhin na po ako ni Moodle sa ating dashboard. So, dashboard ang ating magiging starting point, dear parents. Now, after natin makapasok sa ating learning management system, ang una po natin gagawin ay hahanapin po natin ang ating user picture or yung drop-down arrow na nasa upper right side ng ating learning management system. So, ayan po. So, we have to click the grades. Wait natin mag-load. And then, dito po tayo dadalhin ng ating system or ng ating learning management system. So, sa part po ng parent, ang makikita lang po or ang ma-access lang po natin mga parents sa learning management system when it comes to grades ay ang overview report lang ng bata, which means na grades, total grade lang po ng bata per subject ang makikita natin in every quarter. So, as you can see here in our example, so we have here grade school science 5, 95, sa Filipino 91, sa English 93, AP 90, and MAPE is 97. So, ayan po. So, examples lang po natin to, dear parents. Na kung gusto po natin makita yung detailed progress ng mga bata, kung ilan ang nakuha ng ating anak for that specific activity. So, ang gagawin po natin, dear parents, ay gagamitin po natin ang account ng ating mga anak. Okay po? Kasi doon po sa feature ng account ng ating mga anak, meron po tayong tinatawag na user picture. So, dadalhin po kayo doon. So, we have here this one. So, yung overview report, ganun, same lang po doon sa nakikita natin sa account natin as parents. So, sa point of view naman ng mga bata or sa account ng mga bata, they have two. The overview report and the user report. So, sa user report, doon po natin makikita yung mga detailed results po ng mga pinaggagawa nila sa ating learning management system. So, we have here the grade, calculated weight, and the grade. Dito po sa grade column, makikita po natin yung result na ginawa ng ating mga anak. Grade, yan po. Kompleto na po yan until 4th quarter. So, let's take for example. For example lang, dear parents, we have the first quarter written works. Sinagutan niya ang quiz 1. So, nakakuha siya ng 7, then, there you go, meron siyang 7 as his grade. Dito po natin makikita. So, pwede niyo po siyang i-explore. Ayan po. Ito po yung calculated weight na sinasabi po natin kanina. Percentage, average, yung feedback ng teacher, nakikita din po natin dito yung feedback na ginawa ng teacher para sa kanila. And then, the contribution to course total. So, ayan. As what I've said earlier sa second part ng ating discussion, automatic na nagka-calculate ang ating system. Na once nasagutan ng bata ang kanyang activity, ay nag-automatic na nag-a-appear dito yung mga activities, yung mga results, I mean. So, ayun po. Ayun po, tour ko po kayo hanggang sa ibaba. If you have further questions regarding with the grading system, you can ask your administrator. Dun, tawagan lang po natin or text lang po natin yung ating hotline, or message po kayo sa mga kanya-kanya nating Facebook page. So, ayun lang po, dear parents. Thank you and God bless you po.